Hi guys, today we are going to discuss on properties of matter on chapter 2.1. So before going into details, just let me ask you one thing. What do you observe when you are asked to look at a sample of matter? So you will check for maybe following properties such as what's its color, what's its volume, does it flow, does it has an odor, is it shiny or dull, is it hot or cold, is it a solid, liquid, or gas? Is it smooth? Is it bendable? So many. So how do you categorize these properties? What you have observed? So generally properties that are used to describe the matter can be classified into two categories: extensive properties and intensive properties. So what is an extensive property? It is a property that depends on the amount of the matter in a sample, not the quality of the matter. So that means it depends on how much of the substance you have, not what is the substance that is being made of. So in a way, we can say that extensive properties are quantitative properties rather than qualitative properties. Some of the examples we can say as mass, volume, size, weight, and length of the substances. So let's take an example here for the extensive properties. We have got a basketball and we have got a golf ball. Let's compare the mass and volume for these both. What is a mass? It's a measure of the amount of the matter that the object contains. Then what's the volume? Volume of an object is a measure of the space that is occupied by that. So if you compare, basketball mass and volume are greater than that of the golf ball. So here the sample size matters. That is related to the extensive property. So we can apply these properties in describing a sample. But they are not very helpful in identifying the sample because they can change according to the sample size or the conditions. But one thing is very interesting here. The ratio between two extensive properties is an intensive property. How? For example, mass and volume, they are extensive properties, but their ratio, which we call it as a density, is an intensive property of the matter that doesn't change if it is specific to the matter. That means density is specific for that specific substance. This property is used to identify the unknown substance. The famous story of Archimedes and the Golden Crown, you must have heard, the Eureka. So that is based on this density property. So I will be attaching that also. So you can read that story and you can enjoy. So let's move on to the next property, that is intensive property. It is a property that depends on the type of the matter in a sample, not the amount of the matter. That means it is basically qualitative, not the quantitative. So it's the characteristic feature of the material, regardless how much that matter is present. So intensive properties are basically bulk properties. That means they don't depend on the amount of the matter. Some of the examples for the intensive properties as melting and boiling point and density of the substance, state of matter, color, temperature, luster, hardness, ductility, malleability. So if you compare a basketball that is made with different types of material, you will find these intensive properties clearly. The outer covering of this basketball may be made of either leather, or rubber, or a synthetic composite that is suitable for different playing situations. For example, leather balls are suitable for indoor play, but not for outdoor play. And leather balls can absorb water and dirt more than the rubber balls. So depending on the situation of the playing condition, they use different type of material basketballs. So the type of matter that is being made for this basketball covering comes under intensive property. So let's have two scenarios and we will compare. I have taken a soda can and I have got a thin sheet of aluminum. So soda can is made by this thin sheet of aluminum. And when I compare the intensive property for both of them, what do you expect? Do you think both of them will have the same identical property of the intensive one, or do they differ? They are same. Since the substance is same, however form it is or however amount it is, it doesn't make any difference for the intensive property. Same way, when I compare with a block of copper to that of the water can that is made with copper. So this water can is made by the hammering of this continuous hammering of this block to give rise to this particular shape. So what do you expect here also? The same thing. Since both of them are made with the same substance, copper, so both of them have got the identical intensive property, irrespective of the amount what they are being made of. So we can conclude that every sample of a given substance has identical intensive properties because every sample has the same composition. Then how to identify intensive and extensive properties? One easy way to tell whether it is an intensive or extensive is take two identical samples of the substance and put them together. If this doubles the property, such as mass or volume, then it is an extensive property. If the property is unchanged, even by altering the sample size, then it is an intensive property. Okay guys, I think we are done with this extensive and intensive properties. So by this time you must have got a clarity for these two properties. So a quick check, there are two questions. First one, differentiate between extensive and intensive properties. Second is, check at your home for any four samples that you can able to find and then identify and list their extensive and intensive properties. So bye guys. So let's see for the next video for physical and chemical properties.